Hello, welcome back to By Sword and Musket. We're in the bunker today, and behind me is the Axis wall. On the other side, we've got American, British flags and all the Allied contingents. But today, I want to tell you a little bit about a specific rifle that could have come out from any side, and there probably are various examples around the world that have similar stories to tell. But the rifle I want to talk to you about today is the Japanese Mauser style action Type 38 Arisaka. It's chambered in 6.5mm. It came into service at approximately around about 1904-05. Was used in the Russo-Japanese War, through the First World War, and any involvements in other little squabbles up to and including the Second World War, where it ended its service life. I found it in America. I found it in a small auction, little town, and it had come out of a museum. It has a museum tag on it, and it has a label explaining what happened to it. But I'll try and avoid showing you that until the end. Otherwise, the plot will be revealed. So, the Japanese had two basic rifles that they relied on in their bolt action department. One was the 6.5 Type 38 rifle, and one was the Type 99, which is at the top here, far more simple, basic rifle, but in 7.7mm. They're both termed Arisakas. They were made over a long period of time. They're built by different armories, and they're marked in different series of weapons. It's difficult to find Japanese things on this side of the pond, so I had to look in America. But this one interested me, and I brought it over from the States. Now, down to the rifle, which rests in front of a genuine silk Japanese flag, as the Americans call them, the meatball flag. Now, the Type 38, it is a long rifle. It is a full-length military rifle. It would have a bayonet attached to it. It gave the average, short in stature, Japanese soldier a very long reach, and they used and practiced their bayonet drill endlessly and were quite ferocious. I certainly wouldn't want to like to face one. So, as I mentioned before, it is basically a Mauser. There are only a few differences. It has a 5-shot internal magazine, which can be fed using a stripper clip down these guides, and then it cocks on closing as a straight arm bolt. But the main difference between this and a Mauser is the arrangement over the safety. With the Mauser, we're used to seeing a flag safety. This one, they changed. They put what is known as a mushroom-headed cocking piece on the back end. This in itself has an intricate geometrical pattern machined into the rear face. This isn't just to make it look pretty. This is to aid grip, because the way to work this safety device is with the open palm. And if your palm is wet or greasy, or you are sweaty, you need a bit of extra purchase. So there we have it. There's a groove at the top indicating what position this is in. Technically that's now safe. To take it out of safety, turn it back anti-clockwise to the 10 o'clock position. It becomes ready to fire, And were this a fully working rifle, off you would go. But this rifle is neither deactivated or particularly live. And that's what this story is about. This story is an illustration of the type of interest that builds up around gun collecting. Because this rifle is practically a photograph, a snapshot from an instant in history on one of those fateful days where the Americans, through man and machine, had a horrible black volcanic rock in the middle of nowhere in their campaign to conquer the aggressor, Japan, in that particular war. So our man would have been on the beach, possibly, or up in the rocks, or down a tunnel. And let's assume for a moment that he gets an incoming spray of 30 caliber machine gun bullets heading his way. He may not have got out of the way quick enough. He might have carried on charging bravely towards certain destruction. But at that moment, within seconds, milliseconds, this rifle picked up an imprint, possibly of his death, but an imprint in history. If we look down the exposed portion of the barrel, which is still quite nicely blued, approximately where my finger is a great big gouge. Now that's not a knife or bayonet mark. That's not a parried bayonet from an American Garand. That is a bullet strike. I can get my finger into it. I can feel a ribbed pattern within the groove. So that's bullet 1 that hits him. Where does bullet 2 hit him? Well, bullet 2 hits the other side of the rifle, just in front of the foresight. But bullet 2 is travelling at such a velocity that it pierces the barrel. Not only does it shatter the woodwork, but it actually pierces the barrel. Now, if you set that up as an experiment on your firing range and tried to pierce a barrel with a bullet, the chances of doing it are very, very slim. So this is a pure fluke shot. But that shot, that second and moment, put this rifle out of action and most probably put the poor, unfortunate, frightened or crazy mad Japanese soldier out of the war. And that bullet pierced the barrel. In piercing the barrel, you can see the copper sheen left on the folded back metal. That is the copper wash from the incoming round. The exit side is peeled open like a tin of sardines. And then the bullet, being horribly deformed and smashed up, has careered out of the rifle as a piece of shrapnel, splintering and taking a great chunk of woodwork with it. And probably, unfortunately, the last user's fingers, if the bullet didn't carry on into the rest of his body. It's horrible, but this is an instant in history, and this is why we collect, shoot, and try to experience everything except the final instance of what it was like. I think this was probably picked up by an American serviceman later on and taken back to his hometown and put in the local museum, proudly displayed that this was at Iwo Jima. And that is that from By Sword and Musket. Anything else you want to know about it? Give me a call, drop me a line. My email address is on the website. And if you like this or enjoy it, just click like, follow, enjoy. I'm not a great techno expert. I'm not up with the kids on how this works, but I'm reaching out and I'm trying to explain to people why we collect guns. It's history. We cannot deny it happened. There were bad things done on both sides. You've got to admire the bravery of anybody who was involved. And this was there. Thanks for listening. Keep your eyes open for more videos and stories from By Sword and Musket. Thank you and bye-bye. Put you back with your flag. A couple of moth-eaten bits of history.